Hey everyone, welcome to Long Arm Wednesday, part 1. Very happy to see you here today. I'm Laura Lynn of the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop. Almost forgot to say that there. Almost forgot who I am. So what we're working on today is the finishing of the scrappy pink and brown bear paw quilt that we've done on the live stream for 3 weekends past. So check it out. Had a blast. The last video wasn't being very cooperative, but the 2 videos beforehand, you can kind of see what we had going on. So, but yeah, so anyways, this is what's happening. I'm doing a little stitch in the ditch the best I can. So, you know, sometimes, you know, get a little shaky. And then I've got a nice little stitch out. I'll show you with the small camera here. Hopefully Pop turns it on so you can see it early. And then it's a nice little pattern. It's called, I forgot. Now I will let you know when I get over to the screen. Okay, so this is all done, that's all done, and this is stitched in the center. We got to stitch the blocks in the center here and then do a little stitching in the ditch. So right now we will just come at one of our little sides here and stick to the pink. If your thread is pink, stick to the pink. If your thread is brown, stick to the brown, the best you can, okay? So if you happen to do any, it's, you know, it's not, oh, and I have it on my belt, so hopefully it won't give me too much issue. I didn't want to take it off and put it all back on. Just to stay onto the pink the best you can, and then that way your stitches are less visible if your pink thread gets out onto your brown, okay? And of course you could use a ruler for this and your ruler plate. Well, that's one block. I'll just skip down over here, do some stitches. Remember, I'm trying to stick my stitches on that pink and not so much the brown. No, slow and steady wins the race, and we will get there. We'll trim up all those threads afterwards, but I wanted to show you what I was doing, and then we'll stitch out some squares, what's going on in the square. I was going to do some free motion fun, but since we decided to give this this quilt off to a charity, that organization that Pop has in mind, it's a local one, I decided to maybe kind of just spiffy it up a little bit with this cute little pattern that was fits inside the bear paw. So stay tuned for part 2 of Long Arm Wednesday, where we're doing the girls quilts that we just did up on your bonus video. Okay. Trim all those threads up. I had quite a little collection over here on the side. Oh, we did that one, did this one. Okay, back over here. And then I'll show you how I set up these squares, and then we'll have those stitch out. Okay. And then I just got a little bit more work to do, because I think there was one of the pink sashings up above. I think I missed it. But that's okay. I'll show you what it looks like. There we go. Okay, so that's all those pretty much stitched next to their seams, or on their seams. All right, and then I'll click out. Let's trim this up because I don't want to get hooked up on anything. Trip those out. And then I'm going to click out these zones here and then place that pattern right in it. Okay, just give me a moment. It is called Flourish. That is what it's called. Okay. So I want to get out of my hand-guided mode, and I want to click out my boundary. I've got one already done. This one over here was already done. So I'm going to click on this one. And the little clicks that you hear is telling me that it's put a point where I hit that button. Okay. And it's whether my squares are square or a little wonky, like a couple of them seem to be. That's the way it is. That's the way life is. It's got some wonky times in it. All right, so there's those 4 already set up. And now I'm going to take my little pattern and I'm going to plop it right in there, and it's going to stitch itself right out. So, and because I had already copied and pasted it, and I'm just kind of lining it up in square as much as possible as I can within my little boundary I have set forth to it. Okay. That one's a little wonky in the corner for sure. Oh, don't want that one. All right. We are having some freezing rain and ice pellets at the moment, so you may hear it against the chimney stack for the fireplace. All right, okay, so now what I want to do here is I want to start this quilting, and it's going to go to the one I placed first, which is in this corner. And it's going to stitch out all 4 of them, not all 4 of them at the same time, but it's going to stitch out this as it goes around. Hopefully you can see it. I thought you might be able to see it better on this one right here. That's why I kind of chose to keep this little set so you could possibly see it. So hopefully you can. And I just chose a really light pink thread. I don't even think there's a color on it. It's from Signature. It's the non-shine. It's just the poly. I think it's actually a poly cotton mix. And it's quite lovely. It's nice and soft. There's no really shine to it. To me, it just, and you can kind of see it on the back here. It's very subtle against this gray and shades of gray and brown and white backing. So. And one square is almost done. It doesn't take very long. Especially when I was clicking out all 16 of them and had the, just puttered across on the row. Okay, so do a couple little stitches. You don't really have to because Walt does it as he's stopping and going. So and just hit the continue button. He's going to go to the next spot and stitch it the same way out on this little shell fabric. So hopefully you can see it a little bit better there. It really showed up really nice on the dark, dark pink, but that was way up at the top. But maybe when I roll it out, you can kind of take a look at the overall look of it. So it turned out well. What you doing, Lofi? Making her bed comfy. Hi. That's your Santa toy? Yeah, it's a fun little stitch out. Goes fast. Fills up the space nice. It has a couple little sharp angles that are kind of still representation of the claw to me. That's what I like about it too. Yeah, we still only got 2 more to do. I'll worry about the stitching on the ditch later for that one. You understand what I had going on here, so. Like I said, I won't take it off the long arm. I'll just loosen it up so you can see all of it. As soon as these other 2 blocks are finished stitching. Okay. So I hope the people who sent in fabric or donated fabric to this little project that we had for the pink and brown, hopefully you don't mind us going to charity. I didn't think you would. You're very giving and generous, loving people. And it was the best choice. So far, I'm keeping the red and gray. So far. I may have a home for it. I had a lot of fun on this one, and I will do it again. I will do that bear paw again. It makes for a really quick quilt. Like you could do 9 of these and instantly have a quilt. Wouldn't be very hard at all. Take you half a day. You can do it. I know you can. All right, one more little square to stitch out with flourish. All right. I had thought of maybe using brown because I have a nice shiny glide brown thread, and I don't know, I just saw this soft pink and that to me was a better choice. So I like this softy pink. It's almost like a very pale pink, I guess you would call it. Not everything has to have glide. Sometimes machines don't like any other thread though, and some machines are very finicky and picky that they only like a certain type. So I like it that I can experiment, and some work well and some do not. It's a thicker one. I think it's 100% cotton. It's a bit of a thicker thread. To me, well, it doesn't really like it. It does loops and bobs and nibbity knobs, all sorts of places. So, all right, so there we go for that. And there's the snowflakes and the cupcakes. Snowflakes and cupcakes. All right, so let's loosen this and this. And we'll loosen this. Give it a little bit here. And then loosen the top. Hopefully it doesn't go too crazy. Move Walt out of the way. And hopefully I get a chance to show you some of what I've been up to. There you go, check that out. It's really big, 86 by 86 and a half by 86 and a half, and I really like it. I like how it came out. I don't know, I'll do it again for sure. So hopefully everybody had a good time with us making it, and encourage you to try something different. Maybe pink and brown never thought went together, but I think with the proper balance of the pink and the brown, you got something pretty. Is that even a word? Is that a word? Anyways, have a fantastic Wednesday, and we'll see you after part 2, or beginning of part 2, whatever. We'll see you. Bye.